Now, Dr. Maduka, for a minute, let's leave ethnic sentiments, let's leave party affiliations and things like that, and look logically at the statement put out there by Adamu Garba. Now, he's accused the northern governors of being lazy because, according to him, what they have on their hands in terms of cattle, you know, can actually bring liberation to northern states. Now, he did go further by doing some breakdown and analysis of his own, and I'll just quickly put that out there. Now, a liter of cow at 350 naira is much more than the value of a liter of oil at 145 naira. With over 20 million cows, take 1/3 as milk producing female on an average of 5 liters a day, you will have about 12 billion naira per day only from just cow milk. Now that's about 700 million naira per state per day, about 21 billion naira per state per month. Now that's the breakdown by Adamu. Now that is much higher than the monthly allocation of the largest state in the north, what they receive. Again, each cow can generate a minimum of 3 jobs: rearing, slaughtering, processing, marketing, selling, and management. That's, we're talking about 5 million cows giving about 15 million jobs. Okay, now taking a look at the breakdown done by this gentleman, would you still allude to what Chief Robinson has said, that oil and gas reserve, you know, still remains our #1 economic gold, as it were, in Nigeria?
Yeah, you know, this is just a postulation he did, and I have to thank him very much for bringing it to fore. These are the things we've been saying. When they talk about ranching, when they talk about modern way of doing rearing a cow, these are the things people are talking about.
Okay.
Get these cows in a place where you make more money out of it than these food soldiers that will trek from Sokoto to Anambra State. And at the end of it, they will buy this cattle and they are not contributing anything to the state. Let me give you an example. There's no tax. They're not being taxed. But if they are in a place ranked, it's easy for the state government to be able to measure the economic indices within that.
Because they have a location.
They have a location. You can be able to tax them. He's even talking about the milk and what. The state can equally have much money from the tax. Which, as of today, if you look at the table of content in our budget, I was trying to look at it this morning, where I can see animal or cow tax or whatever index. I didn't see, just to buttress what he said. The mainstay or whatever we use in our budget is equally stemmed on oil and gas.
Oil and gas.
There's nothing else.
Okay.
And then the taxes of the companies, then they will talk about the minerals and whatever. I want to thank Adamu, because sometimes you have to appreciate people when they come out openly. What he said is the truth. It's time for the governors to sit down and not just wait on every month to collect allocation. What do you have in your state? What do you use it for? But the issue is that the concurrent list is the problem in our constitution. There are things that the state cannot do because of the constitution. For instance, let me give you an instance. In Zamfara, they have gold. Kano have granite. And of course, you know the North can feed the whole nation in terms of food. But if these governors can sit down and say, look, where do we have comparative advantage in our economy? And then focus on that. This cow issue will even be the least of our problem, because the North, they have land, they have manpower, they have everything that is needed. The problem is that everybody is just focusing on oil and gas, and it's time for us, not only for the northern governors, even the southern governors, it's time for us to sit down and ask ourselves, apart from oil and gas, what next? In Ondo, we have bitumen. Still, our roads are bad, terrible. But these are the things we can excavate and fix our roads. The roads are not there. In fact, most of the asphalt we import them So what are you talking about? You go to, okay, we're talking about light power today. Coal is there in Enugu. What is happening? South Africa, 50% of their power generation is by coal. So what are we talking about? Then you talk about cement. Cement is in Calago. Why is it dead? The limestone. Why is it dead? You talk about industrial areas. If you go to Newu today or Oka, you will not believe what is there. But why is the state not having what I call economic commission to harness these things so that it will become a blueprint for a state to come out to the open and say, look, these are the things we have. Call investors and let the investors come. It's time for us to leave this oil and gas. Of course, things are going the other way around. Economy is moving out of oil and gas because of pollution, climate change. And there's a lot of clamor now for shift from oil to alternative energy. So this state should be able to do something. I did a work on that when I harnessed everything on each state, what each state can do, and they can make more money than what they expect. But the issue is that most governors don't even sit in their states. Most of them sit in Abuja. In fact, that's where they operate. So how do you sit in Abuja to know what you have in your place?
In your state.
So when you sit in your place, you're able to know. If you come to Abia State, we have clay. And that clay can be used to mold blocks that can be alternative to cement. But who is doing that? So there's a lot of resources. In fact, God bless this country. But I think what we are lacking is not leadership. If you have a good leader, I'm telling you that oil and gas or whatever will be 10% of what we have in this country. What is it that you cannot have in this country? Is if somebody said if you throw mango on the ground, it just terminates on its own. It doesn't happen in any other country. It's only in Africa, especially in Nigeria. So what do we complain? If you talk about the South, if you go to South, they're agrarian. And of course, fishery. Fishery is what Norway is using to feed the entire country. Fish. That's what they use.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Dr.